I like that you have your phone tagged as Mel Bell.
Thank you.
Is that what is now? I know what your first name is, but what's the Bell for? Is that just what you started getting called?
Yeah, cause it rhymed.
Huh?
I said yeah, cause it rhymed.
Now who coined Mel Bell? How'd we get Mel Bell?
Well, Miss Christy Shepherd started calling me that when I was in 5th grade. So everybody just went along with it.
And so is that what everybody calls you at school?
Yeah, most of the time people call me Mel Bill or Mel.
See, like, so when they call you by your real name, that's when they're mad at you?
Not necessarily, but most of the time, yeah. We serious then.
That's like with me at my house when I was growing up, I was called just J, like the letter J.
Yeah.
And but when my mama was mad, it was Jason Robert. So I hope you never got called by your full name. Well, tell me, what's this year been like for you when you look back on how you've grown as a person?
It's definitely been a good year until we entered this quarantine stuff, but I had an amazing senior year, I could say, so far.
What were some of the things that stood out most for you? Like, is there a particular activity or event? You know, like for me, my senior year back in 97, 98, so many moons ago, was my soccer season. I had a really good soccer season and I really connected with the kids, made a lot of friends through soccer. What's the stuff that when you're looking back on it, where did you really connect and feel like, man, I grew a bunch this year through this?
Well, I'm in the band. I do color guard. I'm the captain. And I would say, like, my most, like, the best event so far would be the championship, of course.
Oh, no doubt. Like,
yeah.
like at all. That, y'all just don't even realize, like, I got to cover the championship in 06 as a reporter. And it was kind of a strange event because obviously it ended in a tie, but like this year was like such a magical season on so many levels. And one of the things that I enjoyed too on the peripheral from the actual field action was watching y'all as a band grow and develop, because obviously your numbers went down some this year, but I watched y'all really came together as a group and put out a very high quality product this year, even with those smaller numbers. What do you think was the behind all of that? What caused y'all to get so strong there?
Well, I would say it was a very hard task because you got people talking about how we done got smaller, and we had a new director. You had people talking about that and people doubting us, but you just got to get over some things. Like when you want something and you want to do something, you just got to push yourself and don't worry about what others say. So that's definitely what we did. And we had to come together as a group, especially us seniors, because it was our senior year and we wanted to end good.
Now, what has been your favorite subject this year? Like, what was the class that you're like, man, I'm excited to go to this class?
Surprisingly, I was actually excited to go to Mr. Brantley's class for pre-cal. I definitely missed that class.
Now, and I love Mr. Brantley. He's just a sweet guy. He really is a genuinely decent guy. In fact, he was teacher of the year a couple of years ago. But I'm not going to ask you what class you didn't enjoy, because then that'd be throwing shade on some teacher. We're just going to keep that between ourselves. What was your favorite part of your day? Like for me, my favorite part of my day was always either weightlifting or going to the ball field. What was the part of your day that you looked most forward to that wasn't necessarily tied to academics?
Well, I really don't know, because I think I had all academics this semester. So,
God bless you.
I was looking forward to go to Miss Bosco's class, because we would do our work, but we would also talk about things going on in the world right now. in between us as students.
Now, talk about extracurriculars. Besides band, what were some other activities that you participated in both this year and across your high school career?
I did beta. Yeah, I think that's about it. I was on homecoming court, so, 2 years, the past 2 years.
My sister was on homecoming, God bless her. I'm glad I wasn't good enough looking or popular enough to be on homecoming. So see, you got one or both of those going for you. So be blessed. What was that homecoming experience like? Because you're used to playing the music and being this person in the band, and then having to dress up in a fancy white dress and do all this other stuff.
It was different. Being there, I'm used to dancing on Friday nights. Now I just got to sit in the stands and watch. That was totally different. I had to get used to that.
Now, did you have a hard time not trying to, because you talked about leading these young ladies out there on the field, did you have a hard time not trying to tell them, y'all need to do this, or you should be doing that, or?
Yes, I was down there watching it the whole time.
Now, what's been your favorite snack this year?
Favorite snack? I've been addicted on Kind bars.
Lord, that's like the healthiest high school snack I've ever heard of in my life.
I know. I work at Kroger, so people come to my line with different stuff all the time, and I just got addicted to Kind bars one day.
Listen at you, girl. You're doing just like me. I actually worked at Kroger right out of high school and did that for like 2 or 3 years. And that actually helped me grow and be more of an outward person. I was more introverted through high school. I mean, I had friends and I talked to people, but I didn't really become outgoing until I worked at Kroger, because you kind of had to be.
Yeah.
What's it been like being in school and working? How have you managed those this year?
I wouldn't say it's been too hard, because the beginning of the year, I really didn't work a lot because I had practice and games. But afterwards, it was pretty easy. I knew how to manage it.
Yeah, it's always a challenge. Thankfully, I was in college before I started working that kind of job. I was doing little odd job stuff when I was in high school. So, having to learn that time management, I know that's going to be beneficial to you when you move on to the next level. What happens beyond high school? What are your plans?
I plan to attend Georgia Southern and major in nursing.
Fantastic. I believe Piper is also going to Georgia Southern as well. So we're going to have some Dublin people showing out. And I'm excited because I'm a Southern grad myself. You're going to love it down there. To me, it's the best of both worlds. It's got stuff that feels like Dublin and stuff that feels like you could be in Athens or Atlanta. So that's awesome. Now, why healthcare? Why nursing? Why has that got you?
I just always wanted to be a nurse. It always excited me going to the doctor's office, seeing the nurses and stuff.
Excited? Why'd you get excited about going to the doctor?
Not really going to the doctor, but just seeing the nurses and seeing what they do and how they help you.
Now, what's it like having a last name that sounds like a first name?
It's actually crazy. People call me different things all the time. Todd. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I got a cousin that lives in California named Todd. That's the only reason I know that name exists, because and they used to call him Toddy, and I'm like, man, if that boy grows up and is getting called Toddy, God bless him. Now, when you talked about nursing, when you graduate from college, do you have a particular pathway? Because there's pediatrics, there's geriatrics, there's just the general practice stuff. There's ER, there's ICU. I mean, there's like a million different ways to be a nurse. Have you even considered where you might want to be a nurse when you get out of college?
No, not yet.
That's fine. You don't have to know right now. I try to tell everybody you don't have to know right now, But the fact that you even know that you want to be a nurse is phenomenal, because I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And now I'm just Mr. You wanted to be a what now?
A lawyer.
Lord. Why a lawyer?
I don't know. I just used to want to be when I was little. That was just always something.
You weren't watching like Judge Mathis or Judge Judy or nothing and thinking you were going to be on there, did you?
No.
Well, I've been asking everybody this before we close out, and I'm going to ask you too, very briefly, and see if I pull a smile and an answer, or oh my gosh, I don't remember. But what is your senior quote in the yearbook?
It's oh yeah, it's don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Look at you. Look at you pulling out Dr. Seuss of all things. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah, well, I feel like coat fit me because everybody in my class known to cry, baby. I cry about everything, anything.
Well, girl, don't cry. You don't have to cry. I will be crying whenever we have this graduation, Lord willing, here in the near future, once we get all this stuff behind us, because I'm so proud of the way y'all have handled all of this adversity. You've handled it with such integrity and such pride and such positivity. And that's why I think y'all are special. I think that's why y'all won a state championship in football, and why this class has excelled in so many other areas, because you are so resilient, and your strength is going to carry you much further than you realize right now. Right now, you're sitting here going, man, I'm tired of being at this house. I'm tired. You know, I go into Kroger and everybody's wearing masks and gloves. But I'm telling you right now, all of this is tempering you for greatness that you can't even imagine right now.
Right.
Well, I don't want to make you cry because I'm starting to talk like a preacher. So I'm going to tell you, Melodi, how proud I am of you, and to see you, how you've grown as a person. And I want to wish you the best. And we're going to go ahead and say congratulations, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
See you later.